Good morning and welcome to the second installment of the Muskogee Nation News Monthly. I'm Gerald Wofford, joined alongside Jason Salzman. We thank you for joining us this morning. And Jason, here we are into our second program, and here we've got some very good news stories for all our audience out there. And we see how the Muskogee Creek Tribe has certainly blessed a lot of people this past month.
You know, you're absolutely right, Gerald. When you say that, that really sticks a point home there. We have a great program today, not only with our news stories, but we have two very good guests in the studio today with us. We have our Honorable Principal Chief of the Muskogee Nation, Chief A.D. Ellis, is here with us today, and we'll be talking to him a little bit later. We also have Mr. Lucas Taylor, who is representing For Love of the Game, who is an organization that targets our Native American youth and tries to get them out there through sports and to show their great quality. So two great guests, and also we have two stories that really tug at the heartstrings and show people what the Muskogee Creek Nation is all about, and what that is compassion for the citizens.
And that's certainly what this program is all about, showing what the Muskogee Creek Tribe is doing for its citizens. And you, the audience viewer, gets to see that. One story that we want to specifically talk about is Sylvia Johnny, Muskogee Creek citizen from Dewar, Oklahoma. Her home was, well, unfortunately, just falling apart. And as you see in this news piece presented by Jason Salzman, the tribe was able to step up in a big way.
A home provided to her by the Muskogee Creek Nation Housing Authority's Alternative Housing Program. Sylvia's wait has been long, but has been one that has been well worth it.
It was a long wait, but it's come down to reality. It's wonderful. It's just great to be in a new home, you know. And I feel like it's a God's blessing to be in something like this, and something more modern.
Yeah.
You know, I have more, especially the kitchen. The old house, I only had one drawer. This one I found many, and it's great. I just love it.
Sylvia went on to explain how sometimes at her old house, the conditions made her feel frightened and in danger.
The old house that I had lived in, actually it's an real old house, but I don't know how old it is. But when I first moved in, it appeared okay, but later on down the years, I've noticed the floor start sinking, and the ceiling in my bedroom was beginning to fall, and I could not use the ceiling fan because they said it would cave in, and the floors were kind of sloped, you know, downwards, and especially like when I bake something, everything just lopsided, you know, and everything started corroding, especially around the windows, but everything, it's been great though. It was good for a while, but it's beginning to start deteriorating. Mm-hmm. And I had friends over and said that your floor is in real bad shape. They said you need to do something about it. So every time I hear a creak, something cracking, I know the walls are, getting real old and deteriorated. So, but as far as being real old, I noticed that even the porch was the same way. I've had the porch replaced twice. It just wasn't. And the roof had to be repaired. The roof was real bad. It started leaking in my dining room ceiling, and I had to have that repaired too. So, anyway, the cabinets, I only had the two cabinets all I had, but I had to make do for what I had. You know, everything would just begin to go downhill, and I knew that I had to do something. You know, I really wanted to hurry up and get out of the old house, but it was all right for a while. But that much I know.
Some of her favorite things about her new home include the spacious new kitchen and the nice porch out front.
I've been on the porch for so long. I have the old porch, but it's just I don't know. I was wanting the siding around it, you know. But this one out here, and I just love because they put even the ramps, I love that. Because the steps, I love the step too, but sometimes I miss my step, and that's why I'm so grateful that they put the ramps out there for me, you know.
Sitting in her new living room, Sylvia had many people to thank.
Well, I like to thank Creek Nation and the Housing Authority for making, and especially Chief Ellis, David Proctor, and all the people that were involved, Sherry and Terry and Cremetta, all of them they were so wonderful to me. They were kind to me. Anything I asked, they wanted to make sure I was pleased. And I want to thank them and Chief Nellis and all the group, all the people of the Housing Authority for making this all possible for me. And I'm thankful for it, for what they've done for me. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'll enjoy it more once I get everything unpacked, you know. Right now, the front room, I got that finished. But my bedrooms, I've got to work that too, tackle that too. But I just want to thank everybody for being, I really, really appreciate it so much. And it's God's blessing. He really has blessed me.
Jason Saltzman filing that report, and Jason, it's always nice to see a Muskogee Creek citizen be blessed in that way, and you can tell in the tone of Miss Johnny's voice she was really happy to receive the gift she had.
It really was, Gerald, and that's, like I was talking to you the other day, that's really the best part of our job, is when we can go out and actually get one-on-one with these citizens and feel their hurt with them and feel their joy with them when something like this happens. And this is just a precious woman down there in Dewar, Miss Johnny there, and we got to visit with her on more than one day and got to see the photos you saw there of her old house and understand what she was going through. And for this to happen for her, it's just like a dream come true, and really that is what we're all about.
All right, that's the first segment of the Muskogee Nation News, and we're going to take a quick break, but on the other side, we've got another story too about homes, Holdenville homes in the Muskogee Creek territory. Plus, on the other side, we'll be interviewing Principal Chief A.D. Ellis. You're watching the Muskogee Nation News Monthly.
Welcome to the New Tradition Clinic. Here, our patients receive individual attention and care as we help them overcome diabetic neuropathy, heal their non-healing wounds, and even prevent diabetic amputation by combining the latest in electrical stimulation with more traditional healing methods that treat the whole person, not just the illness.
We are the New Tradition Clinic, shining a new light on the diabetic patient.
All right, welcome back to the Muskogee Nation News Monthly. Thanks for staying with us through that break. We got some more stories to get to right now, and what happened down in Holdenville was truly touching to everyone that was involved. Last week, we showed you a little bit about the fires there that had destroyed homes, and one family in particular had a terrible loss, but through the efforts of the Muskogee Creek Nation, that loss was remedied just a bit. Gerald Wofford was there reporting this story.
The month of January marked a dark time for many Oklahomans. Dry conditions and high winds created a terrible stage for raving grass fires across the state. The cost was the loss of property and in some cases lives. For Muskogee Creek citizen Noreen Tiger, the cost was both. Her and her family endured a terrible loss as the patriarch of the family, the Reverend Kelly Tiger, lost his life attempting to battle back the blazes to save his family home. Betty Tiger also felt the loss as she saw her home and personal belongings gone in a matter of minutes. The tragedy was seen by many, but the tribe didn't sit still. On Friday, February 10th, Chief A.D. Ellis, Seminole Chief Kelly Haney, and many tribal officials were on hand as both ladies were presented with new keys to their newly constructed homes.
On behalf of the tribal government, this was made possible not by any one person, not by any 10 people, but the tribal government as a whole. And that's the only way we can do anything, is working together. And housing, we really appreciate the effort of housing put in. The contractors, everybody worked together. And together we made this possible for Mr. Tiger. And on behalf of Creek Nation and Seminole Nation, he's here to move on.
The homes were built on each family's allotted land. Each lady lives only about a mile from each other. National Council Speaker George Tiger emceed the event and described how special the day was.
Well, you know, sometimes out of disasters, there's periods of time when you have unity among people, and I think this is a good example. I remember when this tragedy happened, that it was before the new year, and certainly there was a lot of hurt, not only with the family, but with the two tribes it affected, because this family in particular, they had members that were both the Seminole and Creek tribes, with our housing people and, of course, our social service people to come down and be here and to acknowledge and let these people know that they were going to work as hard as they could to have a home built for them. And within a 29-day period, a new home is here. And to see the chiefs, I should say, of both the Seminole Nation and Creek Nation here to present the keys to his family, I tell you, it's a really nice day. It's a wonderful day, and it's a special day, not only for the families, but for the two tribes.
Chief Ellis explains the process and the determination of the tribe to take care of its citizens.
Well, they started turning the night the fire started. I got a call at midnight from Shirley Nade, the council member down here, and I got up and answered the phone, and she said the fires were going on. So next morning about 7, I got in the car and headed down this way. I got here about 8 o'clock with some of my staff and found out what all had gone on, the loss of life. So we called the tribal complex and told the social service and everybody to get here. And by noon, we had all of our divisions here, all that we needed, so that's how it started.
Noreen Tiger shares what the past month has been for her and what this act means to her.
The feeling I have is I'm glad to be Muskogee tribe. My mother was a Alati, full-blood Creek of the tribe, and I'm full-blood. My father was full-blood. When we first went through the tragedy, the very next day, well, the same day that he died, we came to Creek Nation. Roger Barnett called and asked us to meet with different departments there at Creek Nation. While we were in that meeting, people were presenting what they would have to offer. So the housing division announced that we would be getting a new home. At that time, I believe that was half of my burden being lifted. Everything was just so emotional that day. But I do remember that the words came out real clear that we were getting a home. I never expected anything like that. So a lot of people of different tribes have told me that you're real lucky to be Muskogee. And I believe I am too, because of the outreach that they had for us that day. It was just tremendous to have those people in that meeting that day instead of us having to look for them. They were there. And I've never really had to go through anything like that before, having to ask for assistance. But that day they told me it's all available and we're giving it to you. And like I said, that was half of my burden being taken away. The house we had before this was a big farmhouse that was already here in 1941 when my husband and his family moved here. In the year 1992, we moved from Tulsa to the old place, and he never wanted to leave after we got here. This was his home. This is where he was raised. The question to me, if something should happen to me, what would I want? And I told him my plans, and I asked him, and he said he wanted to be buried right here on this land. He said, I love this home place, and this is my home. I want to be here. So he never pointed out where, but I in my mind, I knew that all the graves at the old home places were always east of the house. So that's where we put Kelly, east of the house. He did so much for people. It didn't matter whether they were Indian, white, or black. He did a lot for all people. He gave of himself. He wasn't in it for the money because he didn't get any money. But I think today I'm reaping those blessings. All the work that he did for the Creator, I'm reaping those blessings as you look around today, see the different tribes, the friends, and the people that just turned out today just means a lot to me. And I think I've seen more advancement in the Creek tribe that day when they told us we're available. That's what we all need to hear as Creek people. We need to hear that and know that. We need that assurance that our tribe is doing things, good things, so we can tell people about those good things and people know about our tribe today. I'm just so happy with the chief. I have never met him, but he has to have a good heart to have provided this. He and his people. I thank them today. I thank you.
We're now joined in studio by Principal Chief A.D. Ellis of the Muskogee Creek Nation. And Chief, thank you so much for being with us here today on the program. All right. Certainly we were all there that day for the Tiger family, and just for a second, I want to touch on that story a little bit more. What was it like, and how proud were you as a chief to know that so quickly we were able to turn that family's sorrow into joy?
Very proud. It made me very proud for the kind of work we can do, and it took all of us to do it, but we all came together and accomplished that, and I think we were all proud that day.
It certainly showed what a force we can be when we do come together and have a common goal in front of us. Chief, first thing I want to ask you, most of our citizens out there would never have an idea of what it would be like, but just take us through an ordinary day, what you do, and kind of the hecticness of it and all that. Just tell us what it's like to be Principal Chief of Muskogee Creek Nation.
Okay, well, there's no ordinary day. Normally I come to work at 8:30, and my appointments start at 9, and they go until 4 o'clock usually, and I meet people from maybe from New York, they may be from one of our communities, they may be from another country, but they're coming in to visit with our tribal leaders. And sometimes it doesn't stop at 5. Generally 2 or 3 nights a week we work till 10 o'clock, sometimes 11, and it's a never-ending job.
I can definitely vouch that that's the truth, because yeah, it's little pockets of time here and there that you do have. A very busy man, in fact. And Chief, some of the things I want to ask you too. What are some of the current projects we have going on in the nation that we're working on that's really going to progress us towards where we want to go?
Well, of course, revenue is our big problem, and we have a new casino, several new expansions on our casinos, and that provides revenue for our program and our educational health programs. And I would like to mention one thing. I received a email from the U.S. Census Bureau last week, and it was talking about education, and the Creek Nation is the top tribe in Oklahoma as far as education-wise. And we're real proud of that and want to keep improving that.
That's definitely something to be proud of. No, education is definitely something we put at the forefront. It's good to see that the labor, our fruits of labor are coming in and certainly are shining through there. Chief, in your opinion, in this coming year, 2006, what are some of the major needs that need to be addressed in our nation as far as things that need to get done?
Well, the major thing that we need, always have needed, is health care. We have lots of elders. We have middle-aged families and young people that need the health care bad. And probably second is education. We want to educate our young people and have them come back to the tribe and work for us when they graduate from college.
That's true. That's one thing that we have to do. And also, I'd like to know, how do you feel about the current state of tribal leadership, not just yourself, but those around you? Are you surrounded by people that you believe that we can get things done and have and will continue to?
Absolutely. We have a new council that came on in January, and someone told me that 5 of those people had master's degrees. We have 26 people that will prove themselves over the next 2 years. I was reported last week by my chief of staff that we have 70 people with master's degrees or above. So that's a great staff and a great tribal government we have.
Sure, certainly we're in good hands there. Chief, I just want to thank you once again for being on the program, and anytime you want to come on with us and chat for a little bit, the door is always open. Thank you for being here today.
Anytime you need me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason Salzman and Chief Ellis, for that interview. Let's take a quick break right now, and on the other side we have Lucas Taylor, one of the members of For the Love of the Game sports organization. You're watching the Muskogee Nation News Monthly.
Roads around the state needed to be fixed, and we at the Muskogee Creek Nation wanted to do our part. So during the years of 2003 and 4, the Muskogee Creek Nation Federal Roads Construction Department spent over $7 million improving miles of roads throughout Oklahoma. To make this an even greater state, the people at the Muskogee Creek Nation know that we must all work together.
And welcome back to the program.
You know, the state of Oklahoma is blessed with a lot of good Oklahoma athletes, and Jason Salzman filed a report on one of those Oklahoma athletes, Sequoia High School Native American Angel Goodrich.
Welcome to Tahlequah, Oklahoma, home of Sequoia High School, where construction on this new state-of-the-art gym continues. A gym big enough to hold all the people that flock to see the state's premier high school girls basketball player, Angel Goodrich. Only a sophomore, the sensational point guard is the engine that makes the 3A #1 Lady Indians move. Her abilities to get to the basket, rebound, score, and pass has catapulted her and her teammates to the top, and the results usually speak for themselves. Goodrich is a humble player. Add that to her extensive list of qualities. She doesn't talk about her game much. Ask her to describe herself, and the words are few and far between. Not so for head coach Bill Nobles, who is quick to give high praise to his star player.
He's got one of the best players I've ever seen. And I've been around girls basketball. Well, my dad coached at Moore, so I grew up around girls basketball, and I've seen a lot of kids come down, a lot of great talent. But Angel's one of those special players that you see once every 20 or so years. It's going to be great around here watching her for the next 3 years, because if she wants to get better, and I think she does, the sky's the limit for her.
Jason Salzman with that story on Angel Goodrich. And Jason, what can you say? She's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, Gerald, she's something special, just like head coach Bill Noble said there. I went down and shot that story, and sitting there in the gym, she missed maybe one time, and I was there for over an hour. And that just tells you what kind of dedication she has to perfecting her craft, and she is certainly something to behold. As a freshman last year, was the MVP of the state tournament, so that right there says it for itself, and she's only going to get better as the years progress.
Well, Oklahomans are in for a special treat when they get to see her perform at any level, at the high school level right now, sometimes at other tournaments. One tournament that's coming up specifically is the March Madness tournament. It's going to be held in Henrietta. The organization that puts it on is called For Love of the Game, and we have one of the members here with us now. That's Mr. Lucas Taylor. Mr. Taylor, thank you for joining us here. We just saw that piece on Angel Goodrich, phenomenal player, but this tournament, it's going to case a lot of Native American talent all across the state, right?
Well, we have a lot of kids coming from different parts of the state, but we also have some kids coming from Arizona, some kids coming from Mississippi, from Florida, from Texas, all over. And it's just a chance for everyone to come out and see some good Native American basketball talent.
So what you just mentioned there, we're just not talking about Oklahoma, we're talking about a nationwide tournament, all being held in Henrietta. Now, for our watchers out there, For Love of the Game, maybe not a lot of people don't know about it, and For Love of the Game, it helps sponsorships, scholarships with Native American athletes, but there's so much more. Lucas, tell us about For Love of the Game.
Well, it kind of developed with a couple of friends of mine, David Pasquelli, Victor Bear, and B.J. Wagner. We all play sports a lot, softball, basketball. We played in high school, and we would always get around, kind of sit around and talk and say, how come there's nothing for our kids that can kind of help them along the way and kind of avoid some of the pitfalls that we had. So we all got together and said, no one else is trying to do something with our kids, and we thought, well, if we fail, at least we can say we tried. So we got together and came up with some ideas, and we came up with this March Madness tournament. But we always want to stress, education and sponsorships, scholarships, and if a kid may need some cleats or a glove to play some ball. And that's the good thing about sports, is it teaches you dedication and teamwork and perseverance and some good qualities that can transfer over to life. So that's kind of our main goal, is just to help our kids any way we can.
And you mentioned the organization helps out Indian children with cleats or other uniform equipment. And what do they need to do to get in touch with you about this?
Well, they just give us a call. They can call myself, BJ, Victor, or David, but we also have a website, www.forloveofthegame.org, and just log on to the website, and they send us a letter, a formal request, letting us know their financial situation and letting us know what's going on with their team or child. And so far, we've been very lucky and very fortunate that we have not turned anyone down, and that's our goal, is to never do that. So.
And you mentioned For Love of the Game, the web address. That's the digit 4, and then Love of the Game. And we talked about this tournament. Tell us the exact dates and the whens and wheres of it again.
It starts March the 15th, which is on a Wednesday. We have a college career day that day, and then that evening time we have a meeting with the coaches and things, and kind of get everything kicked off. And then that Thursday morning, which is the 16th, we start the pool play, go into Friday night. And Friday night's my favorite night of all. Is we have an East and West All-Star game, slam dunk competition, 3-point, team ball, and then we have a special challenge for the coaches this year. And then Saturday is the March Madness style single elimination tournament. So it's just a fun weekend, and then we wrap it all up on that Sunday where we give away scholarships and some other awards. And this year our scholarship is going to total close to $80,000. So.
We mentioned one of the athletes, Angel Goodrich. Of course, there's another athlete, too, by the name of Jenna Plumley, who has got a scholarship to the University of Oklahoma, right?
It's just fun to watch those two girls get after it. They got after it last year, and they were both on opposite sides of the bracket and made it in the finals. And the game was won by 2 points right at the end, and Goodrich's team won it. And Plumley was, you could see in her eyes that she's coming back for some a revenge factor this year. But it's always good to see those players, even on the boys' side. You got a kid by the name of James Bible from Frontier as well that don't just get after it. And we had some kids from Tahlequah, Sequoia that it's just a joy to watch them play.
Well, Lucas, we appreciate you joining us this morning, and good luck with all your endeavors with For Love of the Game.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gerald.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for our program in this edition. We want to thank you for joining us again, and you can reach us at our number is 918-732-7644 or 7637. I'm sorry, or our fax number is 918-758-0824. Now you can also reach us at our emails jsalzman@muskogeanation-nsn.gov or gwofford@muskogeanation-nsn.gov. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Take care. God bless.